after last year and being a little disappointed, get back there and have a chance now to compete for a national championship and just the Purdue name on this stage?
Yeah, it was obviously it's an intimidating job to hop into as a first-year head coach, and last year, an understatement that it hurt a little bit. We were right there, and a couple 3 putts late kept us from making this nationals on a year that I don't think very many people were giving us much of a chance. So, huge for me this year, seeing all the work that we've put in and everything that we've talked about all season just perfectly worked last week. They stayed calm and they did what we've talked about all year. We knew we were that good of a team. We just haven't shown it all year, and they've stayed super patient and believed, and that's huge for the success of this program going forward. We've killed it recruiting, and we're doing a really good job in a lot of ways. So for Ashley to be able to go out, at a natty, it was huge for us. That was kind of the message all spring, and send her out, with a chance to win it all, and that was that's what we did, and we played phenomenal last week. So playing our best golf at a really good time of year.
How different is it when you're in the Midwest and you have that lull in the winter where if you're a South team or a West Coast team, you can still get coursework in, and you've got to do a lot of indoor work, I imagine, during that time?
You got to get creative. We're fortunate to travel a lot in the beginning of the spring. So we go to Vegas for a training trip over MLK. We go down to Florida. We get out of the cold as much as we can, but we have a great indoor facility, and we tell recruits, like, look, it's not as bad as you think. We can work on a lot of things in the winter that you don't usually work on. If you're out on the grass and you're playing golf every single day, you're not working on a lot of technique that we can work on when we're inside here. So, it's I think, obviously I'm a recruiter. I'm going to spin it to a positive, but, I think we've done some really cool things in the off season here. Now when you get on grass early in the spring, it's a little different, but Momo, who's never seen snow in her life until I convinced her to come here, she worked on a lot of things that she's never worked on in her life, and she's felt like the last 2 winters has made her a better player all around, and she tells recruits that. So it's a nice selling point for her. But look, we've had success here in the past. We've won in the past. You can do it again here. They have every bone that we need here. We've got it all. So it's just a matter of getting creative when the weather's not as good as it is down south.
How do you prepare for a course that you don't really have firsthand knowledge of as a team?
Yeah, I've done a lot of research, but it is, nobody knows what it's going to be like. We've got our freshman Jasmine is from there. She's played it tons, but they've totally redone it. So, even her, she's like, it's kind of a new place for us. I'm expecting it's going to be super firm. I'm expecting it's going to be really hard, which is what we've played the best on this year. I think as we've seen the last few weeks with our tournaments, we've played really well on hard courses. So I hope it is like concrete and it's windy, and that's what we do best. So it is really different. Every national championship I coached as an assistant, we knew the golf course because we were there three or four straight years, and so now this is kind of a new thing. Our yardage books just got here today, so I'm gonna dig into that tonight, and we'll see. But they've done a great job with adapting the last few weeks, and that's something we've pushed really hard all semester, is adapting quicker and making changes quicker, and they did incredible last week. So we're working in the right spots.
I'm going to ask, is momentum a real thing in golf? I know every individual and every course is different, but you go to a loaded regional and play like that. You got to feel like that carries over.
It's a huge thing. I think that the regional that we wanted, Vegas, I circled that the day I got the job, was we didn't have a spring schedule when I got the job, and I had to kind of create one. And when I did that, I looked at regional sites that were coming up, and Vegas was one of them, so we kind of circled that. But momentum there, they were so comfortable there, I think that helped a ton. So we built up that momentum going into next week. But momentum they're kind of angry at what our seed is, and I'm like, oh, we're better than that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what our seeding is. We'll be fine.
Go ahead.
Do you think you talked about wanting it to be windy, wanting it to be hard? Do you think that could help you guys, upset some teams, later on down the line?
100%. I think the harder it is, the harder they fight. Last week the final round was chaos. I mean, absolute probably honestly the hardest day I've ever coached when you add the pressure in and the wind the way that it was. And they've kind of struggled back in the early part of the spring adapting to those sort of things. And I think we're a tougher team than a lot of teams going to nationals. Not knocking other teams, but I just think this group's really tough. They're really determined right now, and I think the harder the course is, the better it is for the Boilers.
How as a coach and how as a program have you changed and gotten better from your first year to your second?
Our culture is really good now. We were talking about it. We just had probably the top transfer in the country here on a visit, and one of the things that we talked about was, hey, we just went to dinner after spending 10 straight months together as a team, and we had just as much fun then as we did in August. I tell everybody the culture that we had at Ole Miss when I was there was one of love and one of wanting to be together, and that's what we're kind of building here. And I think the culture over the last 2 years has gotten so much better, and I think that's why you see us playing a lot better this time of year. You don't get a break in college golf. You're there from August until May, and if you have any drama and any issue on your team, that stuff leaks in. And we've done a great job. Our team is having just as much fun this week as they did back in August. They're still, showing up and grinding every day. So I think that's kind of what we've tried to build. Lauren's probably the best assistant coach in the country, and there's nobody in the world that loves Purdue more than her. She's been here for forever. She graduated here, and it's great to have that alongside with me, and she helps them love this university even more with her passion for it. So we're making some moves. I'm excited about the recruits we got. We're future's really good here. I'm excited.
Tell us about the depth of this roster, because to get to this point you have to have 5 solid scorers consistently.
We lost a player at the break there, who was our lowest scoring average in the fall. It's a pretty big hit, and they kind of put their heads down, and we were getting some scores now out of a true freshman that probably in the fall wasn't thinking she was going to be in the lineup, and now she's finished top 25 the last 5 weeks. That's pretty insane for a 18-year-old. So the depth that we've got is way better than I thought it was going to be at this point, to be honest with you. They've really put their head down and grinded. They're a really coachable group, which is really nice to have. Our depth is there. We're taking 6 to nationals, and I feel like any 6 of them can go. So we're excited about that opportunity. Not everybody at this point of the year has 6 players that I think can go. So we're in a good spot.
How have you made this your program since coming over?
Just trying to build the culture, just building the culture of the one that kind of what we had at Ole Miss. I learned from, I think, one of the best coaches in the country, and still talk to her a lot. But really try to change the culture of one that puts their head down, works hard, has a lot of fun. We work, but we also really enjoy ourselves when we travel. We try to have as much fun as we can. We do fun team dinners. It's not all business all the time, and I think that's kind of the culture that we're pushing towards recruits right now, and that's what we're getting. And hey, I'm going to sit down and we're going to have some ugly conversations about stats, and we're going to point out what you're not good at, but we're also going to love up on you and cheer for you and be your number one fan. And that's just kind of, I think, the culture that we've tried to build, and kind of how we're looking at it going forward.
What's the support you're getting from the university and these facilities that allow you to do that?
Look, I had the easiest assistant coaching job in the country. I wasn't going to go somewhere I didn't feel like I was going to be supported and have a chance to win a national championship. The university is incredible with supporting all sports, not just the main sports, and that's not the case of even a lot of Big Ten schools. So huge for us to have the support that we have. Tim House was with us all through regionals last week. We've got our performance coach with us. We've got our SID that travels with us. A lot of schools don't do that. Those things matter. Mabinski's coming. Tim's coming again. We're going to have a full group of people, and our girls see that. Like, you see other teams that don't have an SID there. You see other teams that don't have an administrator there, and you know we got a clan of us going to San Diego. So you know, I think that's a huge thing for our girls to see. They're pumped up and excited to play in front of all these people, and you know, not a lot of places do that. It's why I chose to come here. You know, we've got the facilities, but the support we get is insane. So I'm very fortunate to be here and excited, and you know, I think, you know, maybe we're a little ahead of schedule than where I thought we were going to be, but the recruiting that we've done and the work that we've put in, I'm excited about what we've got coming.